Yes, indeed. My sister Martha and I have been talking all week about your sermon last Sunday. It's really wonderful, Dr. Harper. In only 2 short years, you've taken on the spirit of Brooklyn.
That's very gratifying, Miss Brewster.
You see, living here next to the church all our lives, we've seen so many ministers come and go. The spirit of Brooklyn, we always say, is friendliness, and your sermons are not so much sermons as friendly talks.
Personally, I've always enjoyed my talks with Cardinal Gibbons. Have I met him yet?
Oh, no dear, not yet. Are the biscuits good?
What?
Would you have another biscuit, Dr. Harper?
No, thank you, Miss Brewster. I already have no appetite for dinner. I always eat too many of your biscuits just to have that lovely jam.
Well, you haven't tried the quince. We always put a little apple in with it to take the tartness out.
Oh, no, thank you.
We'll send you over a jar.
No. You keep it here. That way I can be sure to have your biscuits with it.
I do hope they don't make us use that imitation flour again. I mean, with this war trouble. It may not be very charitable of me, but I've almost come to the conclusion that this Mr. Hitler isn't a Christian.
Oh, yes. If only Europe were on another planet.
Europe, sir?
Yes, Teddy.
Point your gun the other way.
Gun?
To the west. There's your danger. There's your enemy, Japan.
Why, yes, Teddy. Yes, of course.
No, Aunt Tabby, not so much talk about Europe and more about the canal.
Well, let's not talk about war. Won't you have another cup of tea, dear?
No, thank you, Aunt Tabby.
Dr. Harper?
No, thank you. I must admit, Miss Abby, that war and violence seem far removed from these surroundings.
It is peaceful here, isn't it?
Yes. Peaceful. The virtues of another day, they're all here in this house. The gentle virtues that went out with candlelight and good manners and low taxes.
It's one of the oldest houses in Brooklyn. It's just as it was when Grandfather Brewster built and furnished it, except for the electricity, and we used it as little as possible. It was Mortimer who persuaded us to put it in.
Yes, I can understand that. Your nephew Mortimer seems to live only by electric light.
The poor boy has to work so late. I understand he's taking Elaine with him to the theater again tonight. Teddy, your brother Mortimer will be here a little later. We're so happy it's Elaine Mortimer takes to the theater with him.
I must admit it's a new experience waiting up until 3 o'clock in the morning for my daughter to be brought home.
Oh, Dr. Harper, I hope you don't disapprove of Mortimer.
Well,
I would feel so guilty if you did, Sister Martha and I. I mean, since it was here in our home that your daughter first met Mortimer.
Of course, Miss Brewster, of course. So let me say immediately that I believe your nephew Mortimer himself to be quite a worthy gentleman. But I must admit that I've watched the growing intimacy between him and my daughter with some trepidation. For one reason, Miss Brewster.
You mean his stomach, Dr. Harper?
Stomach?
His dyspepsia. He's fallen with it, so poor boy.
No, Miss Abby. I refer to your nephew's unfortunate connection with the theater.
The theater? Oh no, Dr. Harper. Mortimer writes for a New York newspaper.
I know, Miss Abby, I know, but a dramatic critic frequently comes in contact with the theater. And I believe that some of them actually develop an interest in it.
Well, not Mortimer. You need have no fear of that. Why, Mortimer hates the theater.
Really?
Oh yes, he writes awful things about the theater. But you can't blame him, poor boy. He was so happy writing about real estate, which he really knew something about. Then they just made him take this terrible night position.
My.
But as he says, the theater can't last much longer anyway. And in the meantime, it's a living. Yes, I think if we give the theater another year or two, perhaps. What do you suppose that is? Oh, no, thank you, Teddy. I'll go. Come in, Mr. Ropey.
Hello, Miss Brewster.
How do you do, Mr. Klein?
Very well, Miss Brewster.
What news have you brought me?
Colonel, we have nothing to report.
Splendid. Thank you, gentlemen. At ease.
You know Dr. Harper?
Sure. Hello, Dr. Harper. We filmed for the toys for the Christmas fund.
Oh, yes.
That's splendid work you men do, fixing up discarded toys and giving them to poor children to make a happier Christmas.
It gives us something to do when you sit around the station. You get tired of playing cards and you start cleaning your gun. The first thing you know, you shot yourself in the foot.
Teddy, go upstairs and get that big box from your Aunt Martha's room. How's Mrs. Brophy today? Mrs. Brophy has been quite ill, Dr. Harper.
Pneumonia.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Charge!
Oh, she's better now. A little weak still.
I'll get you some beef broth to take to her.
Don't bother, Miss Abby. You've done so much for her already.
We made it this morning. Sister Martha's taking some to poor Mr. Vinitsky right now. I won't be a minute. Sit down and be comfortable, all of you.
She shouldn't go to all that trouble.
Listen, try to stop her or her sister from doing something nice. And for nothing. They don't even carry a vote.
When I was first called to Brooklyn and moved next door, my wife was not well. When she died, and for months before, well, if I know what pure kindness and absolute generosity are, it's because I've known the Brewster sisters.
Colonel, you promised not to do that.
I have to call a cabinet to get the release of these supplies.
We used to do that in the middle of the night. The neighbors raised Cain with us. They're a little afraid of him anyway.
Oh, he's perfectly harmless.
I suppose he does think he's Teddy Roosevelt. There's a lot worse people would think he was.
Damn shame. A nice family like this hatching a cuckoo.
Well, I hear his father, the old girl's brother, was some sort of a genius, wasn't he? And their father, Teddy's grandfather. Seems to me he was a bit of a genius too.
Yeah, he was crazy like a fox. He made $1 million.
Really? Here in Brooklyn?
Yeah, patent medicine. He was a kind of a quack of some sort. Old Sergeant Edwards remembers him. He used the house here as a sort of a clinic. Tried it out on people.
Yeah, I hear occasionally made mistakes too.
The department never bothered him much because he was pretty useful in autopsies sometimes, especially poison cases.
But whatever he did, he left his daughters fish for life. Thank God for that.
Not that they ever spent any of it on themselves.
Well, I'm very well acquainted with all of their charities.
You don't know a tenth of it. When I was working with the Missing Persons Bureau, I was trying to trace a man that we never did find. You know there's a renting agency that's let this house down on its list of furnished rooms. They don't rent rooms, but you can bet that anyone who stays here will get away with a good meal and a few dollars in their pay.
It's just their way of digging up people to do some good to.
Oh, well now, isn't this nice?
Good afternoon, Miss Brewster.
How do you do, Mr. Brophy, Dr. Harper, Mr. Klein?
Oh, Miss Brewster, we dropped in to get the Christmas toys.
Oh, yes, Teddy's Army and Navy. They wear out. They're all packed.
The Colonel's upstairs after them. Seems the cabinet has to be okay.
Yes, of course. I hope Mrs. Brophy's better.
She's doing fine, ma'am. There's just getting some soup for me to take to her.
Oh, yes, we made it this morning. I just took some to a poor man who broke ever so many bones.
Oh, you're right, Martha. How is Mr. Vinitsky?
Well, dear, it's pretty serious, I'm afraid. The doctor was there. He's going to amputate in the morning.
Can we be present?
No, I asked, but he says it's against the rules of the hospital.
You can be of no service there. Besides, you need to spare something for yourselves.
This is fine. This will make a lot of kids happy. That O'Malley boy is crazy about soldiers.
That's General Miles. I've retired him. What's this? The organ.
Teddy, dear, put it back.
The organ goes to Australia.
Now, Teddy.
No, I've given my word to Fighting Bob Evans.
But Teddy...
What difference does it make what kid gets it? Bobby Evans, Izzy Cohen? We'll be running along now. Thank you very much.
Not at all. Goodbye. Here's the broth, Mr. Brophy. Be sure it's good and hot.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think I'd better be getting along too.
Now, before you go, Dr. Harper.
Charge! Search the